If we could get like a mobile chiropractor, just come on by and I'll just point to the spot and just take it out. You in?
I'd rather massage than a chiropractor first.
Massage?
Yeah.
There's like...
Put on some nice music.
Oh man, there's like 20 places right down the road. You can get a massage anytime. They're open till like 3 a.m. too, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's always people coming and going. You can get a massage anywhere. I want the pop. Hey, welcome to the Closing Beat, everybody. Happy Tuesday is the day. How we doing there? Darren, John, Chris, Dr. Horton in the house, and Kirk, how we doing? Good to see you. Hey, I don't know if you saw, but I built a desk, and it turned out to be, it's a massive desk. It's got to be, what do you think, Cody? Like 15 feet end to end?
Yeah, that's...
Oh my God, I messed it up, man. So we're going to end up here having a big desk and I'll be able to sit. I talked to HR. I was like, I stand every day. You know, I wouldn't mind sitting down for the show. That'd be great. So that's what's going on. We get it done. Just pass it through the budget and everything. Hey, we're financial advisors here, speaking of budget, and we just do things a little bit differently. Hope you'll enjoy the show. We're going to talk today about the stock market and lots of fun stuff as well. We're calling it Technical Tuesday. We're going to go over some technical patterns today. So stick around with me here. And let's see what we can do. Hey, also, our Wine and Wealth last week was sort of the geeky side of tax loss harvesting like the rich get to do. So we kind of talked about how we do that here. We're going to continue with that topic and expand on it this week, which will be Thursday if you're one of our clients. When I say come by and grab a drink, I mean, you can come by. We're not really ready yet, but I don't mean you have to physically be here. I think some clients misunderstand that. It's online, right? We'll be live right there in your own little portal. Go in the dojo. So you don't actually have to come by and drink with me. That's flattering, but we're getting all that set up still. Anyways, so we've got that going on. And then in the research site, if you want to join, well, it's $13 a month, but it's free for clients, so don't pay for it if you're a client there. We got a post coming up here. Which stocks are most correlated to inflation and the 10-year, and which stocks are least correlated, like specifically, not sectors, not industries, but specifically what stocks have the highest correlation to inflation. If you think it's going to continue, which ones will do better based on that, and of course, which ones will do worse. We're taking a look at the stock market here today. Well, we got 5 days higher, man. We just keep moving higher every single day. Not counting today, you have almost a 3% gain. 1% of all this in here comes from Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and Tesla. That's it. 1/3 of the gains come from those 5 stocks. If you look in the S&P here, if you're looking to see what's been a drag, there are 96 other stocks that have been a drag on the stock market over the last 5 days, but they only account for 0.13% to the downside. In other words, if those 96 stocks would have been higher over the last 5 days, we would have only been 0.13% higher than we really are right now. Shows you the impact that those big stocks make. I think if you've been watching for a while, you know the drill. If we look at the Russell here, we've been talking about this one because small caps are attempting to break out or down out of this little consolidation that is tightening up, and everybody's looking at the same thing. I've said it a million times here. We see consolidated day-to-day price movement because all traders are saying, I'm not buying until we get above this high, or I'm not shorting or selling until we get below this low. So it's trying, but so far no luck yet in the Russell 2000. If you look at the S&P, it's averaging 1% a day over the last 5 days. Today was a lot like yesterday, by the way, where if you look intraday, you basically had one solid move higher, very little pullback, if anything at all, and we finished near highs of the days. That's very much what yesterday looked like. Like I said, it's 5 days higher, and the trend just continued higher inside of the intraday throughout the day. A couple stocks to point out. Penn National higher was the best performing stock actually in the S&P, I do believe. Up 5.25% on the day today. They finished their acquisition of Score Media, $2 billion in cash. Cody, did you know Score Media? You know what that is?
I love Score. Yeah. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I love Score. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, they actually have. So the MyBookie. By the way, I got my bet last night. Titans to kick over 1.5 field goals. I think they kicked 3. So, you know.
You're sharp.
I'm saying. I'm in the wrong industry. But anyways, the software or the user interface that they use on MyBookie is Score Media.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's why I like.
That's why you like them.
MyBookie. Yeah.
So, well, now it's Penn National. So I don't know if they're going to take it away from them or, I mean, they're going to certainly make some money off of it. But that's what's going on with old Penn National today. And so they were in the news. Also, Crown Castle got a much-needed upgrade by Credit Suisse. I tried to get out of the position today. I sold the 170 puts. I finally got my move on this one. This is one of the last positions as a short-term trade that I actually have. And for whatever reason, when I went to log in, the thing wasn't sending me the text. I couldn't actually get into my account today. So I still have it, but I would like to get out. As soon as I can get out of that one, that'll be the end of that one. Also, if you're looking around the S&P, you've got energy. Valero, one of the oil stocks here, up on the day. You got National Oil Well, not as strong as the other ones, but still higher on the day. And FANG, Diamondback Energy, hit new highs yesterday there, refuses to pull back, which is the same as oil. Look at oil. It refuses to pull back. You know that I say all the time, oil's a very trending commodity. Other commodities, they have their moves. You can trade them in the short term. You can invest in them if you like. But oil is one of those you don't want to fight the trend. And this is a great example why. If you were trying to bet on this pulling back, it refuses to, man. Kind of crazy there. Other stocks, you got Adobe. Adobe's averaging 1% a day actually over the last 15 days. That's 15% for the math geeks out there. So maybe extended here in the short term, but great day for that one. Up 2% on the day. And I think IBM bought something of theirs. I forget the news on that one. I actually don't know, and I'm not going to be like that guy on CNBC and pretend like I can't hear. Did you see that? Cody told me about that. This guy on CNBC was talking about the stock, and he's like, yeah, you should buy it, and technical pattern's great. And Tyler Matheson, stand-up guy, by the way, says, what do they do? I'm not sure exactly what Upstart does. And the guy just was like, I'm sorry, what? I couldn't hear you. And he goes, what do they do? What does the company do? And he's like, I can't hear you again still. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. He had no idea. Poor guy. I sort of felt bad for him, but hey, if you're going to go on TV, you got to be prepared, right? Anyways, that's what's going on there. Alta was the weakest today, down 10%. Actually, when I looked at it earlier in the day, it was like down 3%. They guided for forward financial targets that were a lot less than what Wall Street was expecting. By the end of the day, that sucker kept bleeding down. So I'm not sure if there was more news on that one or not, but holy cow, that one took a beating today. You got Netflix after hours. I believe it reported earnings. It sure did. Beats on earnings. Revenues basically as expected there. Squid Game was the big excitement there because apparently that got them 4.4 million global subscribers versus 3.8 expected. Remember, this stock has been strong while the other FANG stocks kind of took a break. This was the one that really stood out and continues to hold on. Sector-wise, looking at the financials, moved to new highs here, looking good, breaks to new highs. It's the second best sector year to date, and that's up 36%. Anyone want to guess? Anyone want to guess what the best performing sector is? Energy. Energy is up 57% year to date. There's no catching that one here, even if it pulls back. I mean, how do you catch that sucker here today? And that's just because of oil. I mean, oil, like I said, it's on a move higher here. It has no reason to pull back at all. Look around the world. There's no reason to pull back. The United States is now begging OPEC to produce more. There's no need for that. We didn't have to do that. We should be able to do our own stuff here. We actually were doing our own stuff. And what else? Lastly, here's that Bitcoin futures ETF that went public today. BITO is the ticker symbol. If you can't see it, try to bring it in there for you if you want to take a look. But if you're looking at that, it had a great day, actually, to get started. A lot of money moving away from Bitcoin futures, which in reality, that just helps them out even more. And moving away from things like that grayscale, GBTC, the grayscale Bitcoin trust, but it still had a pretty good day as well. One thing to point out is in El Salvador, that's actually a currency, so it's not taxed as an asset, it's taxed as it's a currency. Traders, scalpers, whatever you want to call them, they figured out an arbitrage based on what the government was showing you in that Chivo wallet and what was reality. So they figured out how to scalp inside of that. Kind of like traders used to do with a stock that was traded on the New York Stock Exchange, but actually was public in London or something, China, whatever. There used to be a game to play there where you could make a couple cents by just buying in one currency and selling in the other. And so they figured that out. And so El Salvador said, okay, now in that Chivo wallet, we're actually going to hide the price of Bitcoin so that you can't tell. So I was, pretty smart on those guys' part, but that's what happens when the government gets involved in your products there. They set these different rules. Anyways, if you're interested. The ticker symbol, again, was BITO for the new ETF, and there'll likely be a few more to follow, although it's kind of expensive to start an ETF. All right, Technical Tuesday. Let's talk about some of the charts out there. Advanced Auto Parts. It's that breakout from the other day. It continues today. Look, you got a series of equal highs. It broke out above that. Average volume, but still this area of the market, O'Reilly's and Advanced Auto Parts and AutoZone, all doing really well. Advanced Auto Parts more so in the commercial space. How do you say it? More so in the not just to the retail user, but also mechanics. They're really pushing that part right now, and that's helping. They've got earnings coming up later here in the season, so I wanted to point that one out. Kimco. This is a REIT that just broke out. A little less excitement here, but that's a really tight consolidation there. Technical traders will like that one. Even if it pulls back, they'll be looking for their opportunity to get into that one. Fortinet, FTNT is the other ticker symbol, breaking the new highs here. Same thing. This is a clean, slow, consistent uptrend. Pullbacks are deemed viable until proven otherwise, and that one continuing on the day as well. Anything oil related, you got to be careful. It's a little bit extended. I want to point out something like Apache. So Apache here, very extended in the short term. You got a topping tail yesterday that refused to be erased today. So maybe some bearishness in the short term here. You can't really sell any calls if you're looking to do that. It's a tough stock to short, but you're looking for that one to pull back. So that's not a bullish look. That's more of a overextended kind of a put here look. And then American Express. Let me see. I tried to sell the 160 puts just for fun, and I did not get them, in all honesty. Look, you got a little series of equal highs there. You can see it on the charts, and hinting at a breakout. It has not used any energy to get to the top of the range. It's just sitting there building up more and more energy. As you trade over these highs, what do you have? You have a sector, we have a stock market that's doing fine right now. You have a sector that's in second place, financials in second place, up 36%, all is good there, so you've got that momentum. And then you have a stock inside of that sector that's just asking for strength here. That will attract the technical traders there, maybe something to look at. And that's it. Yeah, I just wanted to share a few stocks with you, see what you thought, maybe try something different on a Tuesday. There were 42 new highs today, one new low. What was it? Clorox was the new low, broke the new lows down there. And just a horribly weak, very tough stock to try to pick the bottom there. As far as new highs, you got PNC. Well, there's going to be a lot of financials here. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. The new highs list is basically all financials when you're looking at it every day. You got some oil in there as well. But PNC breaking the new highs, looking nice and strong. Obviously, it's a less clean breakout, but of course, the start of a new uptrend there. People excited about that today. Prudential moving above highs. It did it already and pulled back. So this is that, hey, we're breaking out. You missed it. Buy the pullback, and you'll be fine. You already got that pullback there. Kind of what I was just mentioning a second ago on, like, if American Express breaks out and you miss it or something. That's how you look at it. Synchrony Financial, same thing. They're all sitting there. They're ready to go. Look, you got consolidation right there at highs, and it touched it briefly. So, oops, that one moving on. Raytheon, same thing, but this is going to be, in the defense space, they're not as volatile, right? We don't have wars going on. There's not a lot of weaponry and sort of top secret stuff going on that drives their bottom line. You have just a real tight uptrend right in here that has clear skies above, right? If you're looking to play momentum in the stock market, you don't want to buy a stock where, what was the stock I was mentioning in a minute? NOV, right? So you don't want to look at something like this. You say, well, I'm bullish on oil or whatever it is, and then you're limiting your upside to a known resistance area. Like, why, even if this was a little breakout right here, you're saying, well, my best case is I get to this prior high. You know, it's a limit to my upside. Well, if you look at something like Raytheon, you say, okay, it's a clean, consistent pattern here, but if it breaks out, now we have like a psychological number of $100, but you don't have anything in your way. So no technical trader is going to say, I will buy it here and sell it at the prior high. You don't have to fight that headwind, essentially, what I'm saying there. And over to semiconductors, Broadcom breaking the new highs, and semiconductors largely recovering from that bounce there. This one would have went without me. If I was a short-term trader, I did not believe that first couple days where it was starting to bounce there. And so sometimes that happens. You just get left behind and, you know, life will go on there, man. All right. Let's see. Stocks in the news here. Facebook. About 1 1/3 higher on the day. They're hiring 10,000 people in Europe to develop their metaverse. which I don't know why they keep forcing this on us, but they want to develop metaverse. What I gained from that is they couldn't hire those 10,000 people in the United States because either we weren't qualified, they needed to be paid too much, or it just didn't make sense to build here in the United States from a tax perspective. So they went overseas, right? So that won't be reported in the media, but why'd we go over there to hire people, right? Why couldn't we do it here? Probably going to be a lot cheaper for them. And sadly, you're going to see that more and more. Robinhood actually finished the day up 2.5%. Not too bad there. So the Wall Street Journal says that regulators are going to put together a whole new set of rules that you have to follow, Robinhood, so that you cannot game the idea of trading. They don't like it when you do these things. The reason they don't like it is because Robinhood is free. Robinhood makes money by getting order flow that they can sell to other clients, or to their clients. The idea is that you trade more, those orders come through, they send it off to another company and say, how much would you pay for this order? They give them a fraction of a penny, they say, you can have it. If they can get you to trade more, that's more fractions of a cent that they can have. So the SEC is like, I don't know if that makes sense, right? It should be maybe a conflict of interest. That's what they're looking at doing there. I don't know. That's a nice app. What do you got? I mean, it looks clean. Qualcomm, a little bit higher here on the day. There was an analyst somewhere, Piper, actually says that this stock, despite earnings coming up, is a good buy. Right in here. Looks good. He likes it. Southwest Airlines, a little bit lower on the day. They've changed their position, I guess, a little bit. So they're saying the unvaccinated that work for them can continue to work while we figure some other stuff out for you. We're not going to fire you on December 6th or 8th or whatever it is. United Airlines vaccination plan for employees was actually blocked by Texas courts, so they will not be going through with that. And American Airlines comes out and says, we are exploring accommodations to allow the unvaccinated to continue to work. So it seems that the airlines are going against Biden's plans there, the mandate that is not the mandate but will be a mandate. And so that kind of hurt the airlines here today. You can't, like, if you're on that side of the fence, you can't say, yeah, unvaccinated won. Really, you got oil prices weighing on these guys. You have ticket prices that need to go up because of oil prices, revenue that they need to make per seat mile that's traveled, and they're having a harder and harder time squeezing that money out of you in a weird time of year, right? In another month or so, they go, all right, people will pay whatever because they want to travel for the holidays. Right now is kind of a tough time. So with that in mind, you go, it's kind of a tough time to buy these and get excited about it, right? Virgin Galactic, SPCE, Morgan Stanley says they're worth $17 right now because they're not doing any flights until 2022. They've got to play catch up, man. They're a little bit behind the game. And Walmart higher by 2% on the day. Goldman Sachs says this is a conviction buy. They have a list they call a conviction buy list, which basically means back the truck up and dump every bit of money that you have into it. Their words, not mine. They said their supply chain investments will pay off through this crisis and that the e-commerce developments that they're working on will be more than healthy for the stock there. So got a good 2% higher on the day for that one there. Good for them. A couple other stocks in the news with earnings and a whole lot more earnings coming up. Abbott Labs, Biogen, the Nasdaq's going to report, Verizon, Discover, IBM, Kinder Morgan, Lam Research, LVS, which is Las Vegas Sands, and Tesla coming out tomorrow. Tesla will be after the close tomorrow, so there'll be a little bit more tension there. So we will see what happens. Lots of comments about the mass. Dustin, hey man, Dustin's here. That's cool. As a routine investor, I look at flat periods as longer periods for me to get in the same price. I love it. That's what I hate about the pullbacks. These pullback, normally the markets pull back and people need to digest the idea of, do I buy? Do I wait? Do I let it bounce a little? Do I wait for the next pullback? We haven't had that. We have little pullback and then, we're back here again. Little pullback, we're over here. So you've had no time, if you're like a dollar cost averager that goes in weekly, monthly, whatever, you've had no time to average in at any decent price. It's crazy. So I would agree with you on that one there. Any thoughts on what Cody's going to do with his new office? Cody, any thoughts on that?
Hey, I'm really excited for my new office. I was a little worried that you weren't going to give me my top 5 on Guess the Dow. I mean, I worked so hard on that graphic, pulling the names, and you never cut to me for Guess the Dow. Can I give you my top 5?
Here we have Cody with the top 5 on Guess the Dow.
Well, you skipped over.
I totally did. I didn't even know you were there. I was like, hey, it's my show, man. Let's go.
No, that's completely understandable. We got David, Daniel, Donna, Jay, and Laura. 4 out of the 5 are clients. So that's exciting. That's your top 5 for today. And I am excited for the office. I haven't quite figured out exactly what I'm going to do, but I assume Some sort of golf equipment will be in there.
Little
Yeah.
putting green or something. Don't we have one of those?
Someone said I should put a simulator in there. That seems a bit much.
It's not that big.
Yeah, but probably get it to fit.
You could fit it. I don't know how much you'd be swinging in there, but yeah.
I'll make it work.
Hey man, I need a bet. Thursday night, Denver versus Cleveland, man. You think Denver kicks over too?
You're the field goal.
I'm a field goal kicker guy. Yeah, I'm gonna think about that one. I will update you guys on my bet. I'm just happy to know who's playing. My friend Joe, he's always like, "Why don't we watch more football?" Now when he calls, I'm like, "Hey man, Titans, man, they're gonna kick more than 2 field goals." He's like, I don't even know what that means. He hates it. I love it, man. That's cool. Having a good time with it. We're talking I put $55 I think on the game last night, 148 on that one. So we're not talking about finding a new career here by any means. Hey, what do you talk about Tesla being extended going into earnings? Oh, don't do anything with Tesla now. I'm a chicken when it comes to that. I wouldn't mess with Tesla going into earnings because you just know this sucker can have an amazing move one way. You could imagine it could be at $1,000 or it could be at $600. I mean, it can make that kind of a move. The expected move is only $31. So that's not too bad. Expected move puts you maybe in the 840s all the way up to, say, 900, give or take. That's the range that traders are currently expecting it to be in, but I can't do that. That's too rich for my blood. What do we think of Abbott Labs? You're finally seeing some of these. You can see it. You're finally seeing some of these guys actually wake up. Abbott Labs today, a little bit late to the game, but there's been a great pullback in some of these, not necessarily biotech stocks, but when you look at like LabCorp and even the health insurers and stuff, you're getting a little bit of a bounce. So I would be cautiously and optimistically bullish on it, as they would say, as the guys on TV would say. Conviction buy on Walmart, but Alice Walton's still selling. Was she going to sell whether they like it or not? That lady's just selling like crazy, man. I'd like to be her friend, you know? I know. What's the average number of winning consecutive days in the Nasdaq? It's 5 days in a row. 5 days in a row is not out of the ordinary. I covered this. Let me see if I have it still. I covered this, it's probably been 2 weeks. Hold on a second for me while we're letting, what is this? While we're letting some of these things pull up. We had 5-day streak in the S&P. Oh, I covered the S&P. Yep, I did. It was the S&P where we had streaks of 1% higher or lower. Yep. So I don't know. You know, I'd have to, especially for the Nasdaq. I would have done the S&P the last time we pulled that up. I'm just scrolling quickly to see if I can get through it, and I won't bore you here. It's in there somewhere. I save every slide. Expiration. I'll give up here in a second. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, nope, not gonna be there. Sorry. Zillow got a nice bounce today. Good. They deserve it, man. Hey, how is that news from yesterday bad news? You know what I mean? They're not buying more properties for the rest of the year. So doesn't that translate into success for them? Right? If they've hit max capacity and they're selling these properties, which I follow all of them. Zillow is my personal social media. I mean, Facebook is whatever, but Zillow is how I wind it down for the night. They own all the properties they want to own, and they're up for sale and selling within 6 days. That's their average sales day, time frame. So I would think that's going to bode well for them when earnings come up here, unless we find out the prices were too high. I mean, there's obviously things that could go wrong. Whatever happened to the house you were flipping last time you were doing the floor? I wasn't flipping it. We actually live in it. We finally got all the cabinets. So maybe I'll do an update or something, but we moved in. That was the house we thought was a good enough deal. We'll just stay here for a while. And still working on it. Every day I come home to a list of things I got to do, man. Yeah. Alibaba, some good news after yesterday's bad news there, so that helped kick things off for sure. Alibaba is going to have their own chips, I believe, building like Alphabet is and others as well. So that's good news for them. It makes them a little more competitive and hopefully sort of squashes the idea of what they were talking about yesterday. I think they got a handful of new investors as well because of that. Was that them? I don't know. They're going to be doing an online overview of what they're doing. I think it would be tonight, which is morning time, their time, if you're interested. So I think it's got the recipe now to continue to move higher. So you've definitely put in a low. right? Got a good consistent low, a good period of strong buying, not like over here where you got buying and then they gave up, buying and they gave up. You got a good string of buying in here, solid strong day today. If you've been holding Alibaba for a little bit, maybe you're turning the corner here, right? Hopefully this is your chance. Get back to the 200-day maybe. Yeah. I love it, man. Love to see an update on the place. I mean, I don't know how updated it looks, but well, I'm dying to get it done, man. It's just so much to do. But I think on my Facebook, I posted the fireplace thing that we built. But yeah, there's nobody here to do work, so it's like I have to do everything. Not complaining, but that's why it's not done. Yeah. All right, I'll wrap it up there. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Get the new desk rolled over and start putting that thing together. We'll be back tomorrow to do this all over again. Thanks for watching. See you then.